Welcome back to Movie Summary. Today we are diving into a film called Mr. Right. The movie begins with a girl by name of Martha. She is having fun at home alone waiting for her boyfriend. Unfortunately, her boyfriend comes back with another girl. He is so sorry and apologizes to Martha, but Martha leaves the house and breaks up with him. On the other side, a man by the name of Francis enters a building. He is having fun while taking the elevator, even dancing in the hallway. He finally knocks on a door. A woman by the name of Sharon opens. Francis announces to her he is the one she hired to kill her husband. Sharon then wonders, why is he here and not at her husband's place? Francis points a gun at her and finishes her. Meanwhile, Martha is going crazy over her breakup. She is drunk. Her friend Sophia checks on her and tries to help. Back at the hotel, a team of armed men is ready to go after Francis. Hopper gives up and tells them they are already dead. The team then enters the hotel and Francis easily finishes them all, while wearing a red nose. The next day, Hopper received the order to personally eliminate Francis. Meanwhile, Martha stops by a grocery store. Francis is also there and he notices Martha. He then bumps into her. He asks her if she wants to go on a date right now. Martha is speechless. Francis adds that he is on a run from Hitman, but he wants to go out with her. He finds her beautiful. Martha ends up agreeing to this unexpected date from a stranger. They go to eat at a hot dog place, walk around a nearby park while getting to know each other. Moments later, a sniper shoots Francis but he avoids it. Martha wonders what was that. He responds while laughing that someone is trying to kill him. That same night, Francis brings Martha to a dance party. After it, both reflect on how great the day was and end up making out. Sophia enters and finds them, so they go in her room. Martha reveals to him that she is still affected by her breakup and just wants to talk all night. Francis agrees. The next morning, Martha wakes up to Francis gone, with a message saying he has to go to work. See you tonight. Meanwhile, Francis is dancing while Hopper and another agent watches him. Hopper informs his partner that FBI and CIA had been hunting Francis for 10 to 15 years. Vaughn, Hopper's superior, screams at him he wants Francis captured as soon as possible. That same night, Martha meets her charming prince at a bar for round 2. Vaughn is also there watching them. Francis notices him and steps outside followed by him. Vaughn then wants to finish Francis, but Francis easily overpowers him. He comes back and Martha wonders where was he. He responds he just killed a guy, but like always Martha thinks he is joking. Meanwhile, a family of criminals are losing their men, so they consider to hire Francis, who is a known international hitman. At the same time, the chemistry between Martha and Francis becomes stronger. Martha even comes with him on his next adventure the next day. She stays in the car while Francis has a meeting with a mysterious guy on the bridge. The guy has been sent the criminal family to hire Francis. Minutes later, Francis doesn't like the way he talks, so he eliminates him. Martha, who witnesses everything, is in complete shock. She realizes all these stories were not jokes. Francis then comes back to his car and the speechless Martha asks to go home. He drives her home and still tries to rationalize that he is a good guy. But she closes the door on him. Meanwhile, the criminal family decides to send 10 guys to Martha's house as they followed Francis and saw him dropping her. At the same time, 2 FBI agents arrive to Martha to ask her questions about Francis. Hopper explains to her that Francis is not an ordinary hitman anymore. He developed a sort of a moral code and kills those who hire him. He finishes by saying, if he ever contact you, let us know. The next day, Francis had enough and calls Martha saying he wants to see her. So she asks Hopper if she is safe from him, and Hopper she is probably the only person he genuinely got close to. Meanwhile, the criminal family is getting ready to attack. Moments later, Francis neutralizes Hopper and rings the bell for Martha. He brings Hopper in while Martha isn't sure what they have going on will work out. She wants to take a break but then can't resist him. She even rationalizes what Francis is doing. At the same time, 12 of the criminal family men arrive. Francis then reveals to Martha that Hopper is not really with the FBI, he is undercover there. He is even worse than Francis, he used to be Francis's mentor. Francis then confesses Martha he loves her and wants to run away with her. She agrees. They then escape and encounter the 12 men. Francis neutralizes them one by one in a very impressive manner. But the family's sons Vinny and Johnny show up and capture Martha. Johnny then beats Francis up. They then takes Martha and leaves. Seconds later, Hopper comes to confront the very injured Francis, who laughs at him. Hopper's FBI partner then shows up and Hopper finishes him, giving Francis the opportunity to escape. Later that day, Vinny explains his plan to Johnny. He wants Francis to come and eliminate everyone here while they are gone, including their boss Richard. So when they come back, he becomes the new boss because Richard would be out of the picture. Richard calls Vinny and tells him he wants to let the girl go. Realizing this messes up his secret plan, he gets mad and Richard punches him. Moments later, Vinny gets angry as now he is stuck here with the others when Francis will show up. Hearing their conversation, Martha makes fun of him and he puts her back in her place. But she keeps making fun of him. It even gets her motivated. Vinny and Johnny looks at her like she is crazy. Meanwhile, Francis shows up with his red nose. He gets into a quick convo with one of the guys while pointing his gun, shoots the windows and heads inside. Everyone inside is getting ready. Francis shows up to the main office through the window and eliminate everyone except Vinny and Richard. He asks where is Martha while pointing a gun at Richard. Richard doesn't speak and Francis doesn't kill him. Vinny is shocked, asking why wouldn't he want to kill Richard. Vinny screams at Francis to eliminate Richard under his weird moral code of eliminating those who hire him. But Francis responds, he promised his girlfriend he won't do it. Richard hears it and is shocked what Vinny had planned. Francis leaves his gun and Vinny takes the opportunity to finish Richard. Meanwhile, Francis keeps eliminating other guys effortless. He then finally reaches Martha and unties her. On their way out, Hopper shows up out of nowhere. He beats Francis up while Johnny takes Martha away. Martha keeps complaining but Johnny doesn't care. He reveals that he likes crushing and goes against Martha. But she remembers some moves taught by Francis during their dates, and ends up knocking out Johnny. Martha is so proud of herself while outside Hopper and Francis are going at it. Hopper is disappointed in his old student. Meanwhile, Martha bumps into Vinny, who wants to know where is Johnny. She reveals she finished him and he is next. So she eliminates him with no hesitation. Meanwhile, Hopper tells Francis he will never be normal, but Francis is saved by Steve, one of the guards. He then reunited with Martha. We then jump to 2 months later. The couple is on a holiday trip. A sniper is ready to take on Francis but Martha appears in front of him and finishes him. The movie then ends. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and check out other movie summaries we have on our channel.